What's happening, guys? I just saw that new PR, all-time PR for me on a bench. Beats my best by 10 pounds, and it was a much cleaner press than the last time I benched anywhere near that much. So, pretty happy with it. It included the Benchuary training that Sorinex sponsored and put on, the programming by Bill Gillespie. I'm overall happy with it. I mean, it kind of checked all the boxes that I know I need to check when I'm training, what I know I need to do to make my bench press go up. A lot of frequency, a lot of volume, a lot of handling of heavy weights. Kind of checked all those boxes. It was perfect for me, honestly. And I didn't expect to make super huge gains out of it, but I felt very, very comfortable by the end of it. Loading up 4 plates and getting after it, and I'm going to try to continue. I got a different thing I'm going to continue doing here, obviously way less frequency, so I can start shifting my gears more towards a healthy throwing body, and more mobile shoulder joints and everything, but I will bench once a week heavy using the slingshot. Mark Bell just released a little 3-week program incorporating the use of slingshot in there. So I'm gonna give that a shot, see how that works, see if that pushes that top end out a little bit. I'd like to hit 440 by the end of it. You'll see later in the video, I missed 440. I was really kind of on the high end, was hoping I'd be able to get after that. Pretty arbitrary number, 200 kilograms, but I like good round even numbers. So would have been pretty great to hit. I think I could still get in after it. I missed the 440, but on a better day, on a different day, a little less ache in the spots that were achy, I think I might be able to get it. Anyway, so far what you've seen is kind of my preparatory movements before I get started on the bench press. Obviously, it's not all just bench pressing to warm up. Some other things to really start mobilizing the tissues that get stretched and get used leading up to a solid bench day. I really like my body to be warm before I even touch the bench. That's the idea. So I do a lot of little different things to kind of assess where the body's at, how I'm moving through ranges of motion, if there's anything I need to address. This reverse Nordic actually is pretty good to continue or to include before you bench. Just because when you're benching with the arch and everything, it's nice to have some ability to get some stretch to the front plane, so you don't feel like you're working against yourself to build that big arch and that good arch. And of course, getting the back ready, warmed up, just some juices moving through the spine and everything, and all the back muscles. Always a good idea. And then after I got done with all that stuff, man, I was on to the bench press. I did some stuff in between movements as well. Some like scapula push-ups, and some scap rows that I didn't include on the video, but definitely got some of those in as well. Just trying to make that back rock solid is a great foundation for benching. Everybody should be doing that. Your back helps so much in the bench press. I know everybody's heard that. If you're watching this channel, I'm not the first one telling you that, but it's good work to get in and get done. And then my typical workup when I'm maxing is, again, I'm getting under the bar, throwing some weight on there, trying some different tempos, just trying to feel the positions. And if something aches in a certain position, I try to address that. Maybe some slowing down through that position to try to get those muscles engaged and the tendons lined up and engaged for the lift, and just try to see, like, doing a good little ready test, a little self-assessment. I will, I usually working up to 2 plates. I'm doing sets of 10, maybe multiple sets of 10, including sets of 10 with 2 plates. And then once I start throwing on more weight, again, on the day that I'm maxing out or pushing up towards 100%, I'll either drop down to no more than 3, but usually 1 or 2 reps. Just really trying to grease that groove. By now, the muscles are warm. They don't need a lot more warming. Just trying to get the nervous system primed and ready for the bigger work. You see here, got 355 loaded up. Again, this program with the frequency of hitting some of these bigger weights really made me super confident with it. You can see 335 just flying, moving as fast as it ever has in my training before. So happy about that. Then making another jump up to 385. And this kind of was like the beginning. This was like the beginning of go time, I guess. Roughly 90% on the bar, or 90% of my training max or so. I knew this one was going to go, but it was a weight that I felt like I needed to hit to really, again, prime that system. And it moved. Super happy with how it moved. And then 405, again, the confidence with over 400 pounds on the bar. This would be historically a lift that I wouldn't even think about without a lift off or a spotter. But my lifter, my spotter was a little busy at the, it's easy running there at the end. He was a little busy, and I decided, I don't need it. I just give it a go. And that is the fastest I've ever pressed 405 away from my body. So super happy with that. And here is the PR rep at 425. I don't have a lot of critique on this. I think anything that my right elbow tends to fall out of groove for whatever reason. It's been that way for a long, long time. When I start putting the effort into it, when I start pressing heavy, that right elbow starts flaring faster than it needs to for the lift. So, can't be mad at it though. Good speed on that. I really felt like I had more in the tank after that. That was a good effort. That was a PR. Maybe the smart money would have been to go up 5 pounds and see how that felt, but I didn't really have any emotional investment in anything less than 440 for an all-out max. I wouldn't have been any happier with the 430 than I would have with the 425. So loaded up 440. Had a little bit long in between the sets on this one. I think it took about 10 minutes to get to this. And right there, right elbow floated out. You see I lost control of the bar on that right side. So I think maybe if I had stuck with that a little bit longer, stayed a little tighter until I got a little further off the chest, I could have gave that a good shot. So we'll see after the end of this 3 weeks. Might load it up again and see how it goes. So another month from now. Or if things are achy and hurting, I ain't going to push it that much either. So I really do think I'm fully capable of now just handling over 400 pounds on a regular basis. And that's saying a lot for me. The confidence and the discomfort I feel, the lack of confidence and the discomfort I feel or used to feel under those super heavy loads, it's kind of gone away. It's not there anymore. This here was the next day. Got back in there and still, trying to turn into a full-blown athlete now. I'm transitioning my training to my lower body training for sure into some more athletic movements, not heavy, not grindy. I'm going to continue having strength elements in here. In my lower body, my squat movements at least, because I really think that's going to be a good difference maker for me this season. So you might see me going heavier from time to time, particularly with the safety squat bar, and maybe with some deadlifts on occasion. This particular session, I kept it at 335, so that, the day before with the max effort bench press, keeping the nervous system in check, yada, yada. But I probably will start pushing these up to doing heavier sets of, 2 to 3 as I move on. I'll, gotta find a way to keep the strength or push the strength up without fatiguing the body with a ton of volume. So I think once a week hitting the safety squat or some variation, pretty heavy. Maybe adding in some heavier like good mornings or deadlift variations, even if it's just Romanian deadlifts. Basically I've got to find a way to keep overall strength up without having to have a ton of volume and frequency, because that volume and frequency is really what kind of holds me back from being mobile and having energy to expend on the field days after a decent training session. So I don't know. We'll sort it out as we go. I'm not rigid and strict. I just got I know the movements that I'm gonna do that I need to do, and I'm gonna do them. Single leg work, as you see in just a second, single leg work is a mainstay, and I think that is one of the elements that I've missed in training over the past few years. Actually, pretty much ever. At least to the frequency and extent that I'm doing them now. I gotta add that in. I think that's gonna make me more athletic. It's gonna make me stronger in a way that I can apply to the field, throwing, running around with a rugby ball, whatever it is. You see these version of step ups. Kind of settled on this. Coach, I read an article, I think I talked about it last week. I read an article about how these were used in some of the old training systems with athletes, including some Russian Olympic weightlifters. But then I was reinforced by Coach John Oden. He's adding them in as well, and for the exact same reasons I am, to keep that strength up in a way that is applicable to what we do. And I settled, also this higher box. See, as the knee is pretty much, I'm basically like the leg is in a parallel squat position at the top of that box, and I'll slowly progress the weight if I feel it's appropriate, and again, if I'm moving in a healthy way. But otherwise, I mean, I can just take the same load and try to be a bit more explosive and get just as much benefit out of it, I believe. So that's it. That's how this training session went. It was pretty good. I did a couple more things. I think you're going to see single leg RDL on with a kettlebell, and again, more single leg work, but really just trying to it's not a single leg, I guess this is a B stance lift, with the focus being primarily on the front leg there. But again, these movements feel healthy, athletic, and transferable, and that is the goal, unless you're just trying to get good at lifting them weights. And that's cool too, but that's not what season I'm in. Probably not what season most of y'all should be in the United States of America. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Again, any questions you got, any commentary you have, throw it down below. Like, follow, subscribe, do all the fun, fancy stuff that makes these videos catch on a little bit more.